आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. In this class also we shall dwell a little more on the fourth mantra of the second khanda. Pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam hi vindate atmana vindate vidyam vidyaya vindate amrutam. We already explained in the last class what this mantra signifies. The first meaning given for this Pratibodha Viditam Matam is that in every cognition, in every thought, in every emotion, feeling or sentiment that arises in us, it is possible for us to see, to understand, to identify or to recognize Brahman. Brahman is present in every bodha, meaning thought. Bodham, bodham, prati. So in this meaning, the expression prati bodha means in every thought. Bodhe, bodhe. However, what we will see now are two other meanings. And these two other meanings for that first sentence, Pratibodha Viditam Matam, are given by Sri Shānkarabhāshya in his vākya-bhāshya. We must now know that the whole mantra has a couple of other teachings too. After saying Pratibodha Viditam Matam, the mantra says, Amrutatvam hi vindate, Atmana vindate. Two sentences. In this understanding, Jnana Matrena, not going anywhere, not lifting even a blade of grass. This is in no way suggesting that we become lazy. On the contrary, when one is very alert and mature, which is greater than a lot of hard work and unthinkable amount of labor, to stay alert, to stay watchful is extremely hard for most people. If one can be attentive and in the light of the teachings of the Upanishads, in the light of the teachings of the eminent, competent teachers, one is able to see. The golden word is see, not do, but see. When one sees, Amritatvam hi vindate. The whole mantra, that is the second sentence. And Atmana vindate, the third sentence. Amritatvam vindate means one attains immortality through this right seeing. Atmana vindate means one gets all this wisdom by oneself, in oneself. And then the fourth sentence is Viryam vindate amrutam. One gets Viryam, balam. One gets such unbelievable strength which is not destructible. Pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam vindate atmana vindate viryam vindate amrutam. Thus the whole mantra has four sentences. But the focus shifts back to the first sentence, Pratibodha Viditam Mata. Therefore, what are the two other meanings which the Adi Shankaracharya shares with all the readers of his Bhashyas? Is our topic in this class. So let's first go to one slide at this moment in which this purpose or the objective of this class is spelled out. Kena-Upanishad with vākya-bhāshya on this day, Friday, 22nd December of 2023, we are going to see two more meanings of not the whole mantra. We are going to see two more meanings of just the first part, Pratibodha Viditam Mata. The whole mantra is placed here for you to remember that this entire mantra was presented, but two more meanings are for Pratibodha Viditam Mata, the first part alone. What are the two meanings? To put it in advance, the first meaning is Pratibodha Viditam doesn't have to mean in every thought, that is in that virukti, in that repetition. It can also mean a kind of waking up, a kind of saying goodbye to all the impressions, purva sanskara of erroneous knowledge. Millions of our opinions and beliefs, millions of our fears and desires, millions of our raga-dvesha, all of them are born of and nurtured and sustained by asamyak darshan. And pratibodha viditam matam, that is pratibodha, can mean a certain waking up. You see, the root Buddha means to know, and in some contexts, the root Buddha can mean to wake up. Eknath Ishwaran writes in a very elegant and effective manner, when the Buddha returned from his austerities to a certain town where he used to come in olden days, people gathered around him and they saw such calm, such serenity, such radiance upon his face. They asked, "Are you now an angel?" He said, "No." "Are you now a yaksha? Are you now a kinnara? Are you now a gandharva? Are you now God?" A number of things, because you look so different. He said, "No." And when they asked them, "Tell us what you are now, who you are now," it seems the Buddha said, "Now, unlike how you saw me in good old days, I am awake." Therefore, Prince Siddhartha came to be known thereafter as the Buddha, the awakened. Adi Shankaracharya gives exactly that meaning to this Pratibodha Viditam. Pratibuddha. I just now explained the word Buddha, but Pratibuddha also means that kind of a quantum leap, not in parts, not bit by bit, not gradually. If you and I say, "You know what, after attending all these satsangs, my ignorance has reduced, my confusions have reduced. Even now I am lazy, but I am less lazy, than before. Even now I have likes and dislikes, but they are less than before. Suppose you say, from a higher point of view, this being less lazy, less affected by likes and dislikes, it's nothing. It's like somebody says, "I am still in a prison, but recently they have given me a larger prison with attached bath and a mirror and an AC, and I have given a study table and a chair and some books are allowed. in my room. He goes on and on. But we ask him the single question: are you freed from your prison? No, I am still in a prison. Like that, please think of this awakening as very distinct from a whole lot of so-called self-improvement. No wonder J. Krishnamurti said, freedom, or rather he said, ending of sorrow is not by self-improvement. Ending of sorrow is by ending of the self. The separate self has to end. Then Vedanta would add, only then the non-separate infinite self, which is the one truth in all, shines forth. Therefore, first meaning we will see is Pratibodha means being completely free of erroneous knowledge, of impressions of erroneous. Adi Shankara himself says, for that Pratibodha Viditam Matam, there is yet another meaning. Because Buddha basically is to know, but Bodhayati comes from Buddhi. A teacher instructs and the student receives the insight from the teacher. In a certain receptive state, the student begins to see the truth as the teacher ever did. Therefore, Pratibodha Viditam means, as we have put it in this slide, instructed by a competent teacher. Thus, these two meanings are given to Pratibodha Viditam. Mind you, in addition to what was given before, Bodham Bodham Prati. In every thought, in every sentiment, in every feeling, in every recognition, in every cognition, and so on. Now, in just one more slide in this class, we will see how Adi Shankaracharya expresses this point, this idea that there are two more meanings. Begins with Athava. Athava means alternatively, or Pratibodha Viditam Matam He. Please see, he is commenting again on the first pada alone of this fourth mantra. Pratibodha Viditam Iti Sakradeva. Just in one moment, in a flash, Ashesha Viparita Nirasta Samskare. All the contrary or opposite notions. I am not the body is the truth, but you and I are holding on to just the viparita, contrary. I am the body. I am the body. I am this personality. I am this adhaka. I have come this far and I will go that much more too. So, number of ideas about who I am. Self-improvement is $1 billion industry or much more, or in the name of improve yourself. That too, in so many workshops, the focus is on one little part of life. If you are a businessman, attend this workshop to increase your profits. Attend this workshop to expand your business. Or somewhere else, attend this workshop to look younger. Attend this workshop to enhance your memory. Attend this workshop to learn artificial intelligence. So there are countless workshops for the so-called self-improvement, but it is nowhere near the annihilation of the separate self. However, vast majority of human beings are troubled. They are troubled in their heart because they don't look smart, they don't speak good English, because they are not endowed with right manners. They should learn proper manners. So about a million things, different people are concerned. They don't have any idea what this ending of the self. All of them want to get better in some respect. How to understand one's husband, how to understand one's wife. Once I was at some home and I found a book, How to Understand Men. It was written for women. But out of curiosity, I began to read it. And next day, the lady of the house saw me glancing at it. She said, Swamiji, you just take this up. I said, why are you giving me this? I think you kept it here, the shelf, out of much interest. I had interest. I bought this 25 years ago and I married this Indian. This lady was a white American. This Indian from your country I married 25 years ago. And very soon I had a lot of difficulty in understanding. And then I bought this. And did it help you? I asked. No. After reading it many times, still I am in square one only. I can't understand this husband of mine who is from your country. He said, and therefore, take this away. She was trying to get rid of her. And I carried it. I don't know where I lost it. Now I don't have that. So, self-improvement. I'm sure there are books on how to understand women, how to understand children, raising children. What do you call that? Um, Parenting, the art of parenting, science of parenting, secrets of parenting, etc., etc. I don't want to denounce them. They do help sometimes. It's like you have a headache and you take a pill, the headache goes, if not forever, the headache goes and you sleep well that night. Who can say that tablet is to be thrown away? You need it sometimes. Like that, there are countless self-improvement workshops and the so-called management books, and people read. So we respect it. But Upanishads, in the core of their messages, are not about self-improvement. It is said here, Pratibodha means the rising. Shankaracharya says, Pratibodha viditam matam iti sakradeva. Can you at one go be free of clutches of this notion of your separateness? Ashesha viparita nirasta samskare. Swami Sachidanandendra Saraswati says the better version would have been compound, Sanskrit compounds. Nirasta should have come first. Nirasta ashesha viparita samskara. In Bahuri Samasas, that is how the state of mind where nirastaha viparita samskara asheshena. Nirasta should have come first, but either way, he accepts this reading anyhow because he saw in old publications the Vyakhyanakaras have taken this version of Ashesha Viparita Nirasta Samskarena, whereas Nirasta Ashesha Viparita Samskarena would have been. Instantly I agreed with my mind, so that is the standard expression in a compound. Whatever it is, what is Nirasta? Nirasa means throwing away, dispensing, disposing of. So, when you dispose of, and in one flash, therefore they say, enlightenment actually has nothing to do with time. To imagine that you will get enlightened slowly, slowly, and I am very fond of this. I once said to a student, drop this idea of slowly, slowly. Vedanta asks you to see the truth and at one go get free. With folded hands, he said, give me some time, Swamiji. Slowly, slowly, I will try to get out of this habit of putting everything slowly, slowly. Shanai, Shanai. So, it is such a strong vasana To remove that, it is said here, Satyadeva. In Bhakti Marga also, Bhaktas think they are getting better, getting better. But the call of the Bhakti Shastra is once and just once with all your heart, love God. Sakradeva Prapannaya Tameva iti yachate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyaha Dadami iti etad vratam mama, says Sri Rama to Vibhishana in the Valmiki Ramayana. Or in Vishnu Sahasranama, everything. It is said, Yasya Smarana Matrena Dharma Sansara Bandhanat Vimuchyate Namastasmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. One intense and wholehearted remembrance. All of them have deep truth in them. They are not exaggeration. King Janaka thought that these things were in an exaggeration. When he said to Ashtavakra said, let's go for a ride in the forest. They went for a ride and then both of them got down from the horse at some point. And then Ashtavakra said, how much time does it take for you to mount this horse? Janaka specifically had read somewhere in the book, it takes as less time to get enlightened as is required to get on board a horse. About it he had doubt, and Ashtavakra demonstrates exactly in that kind of setting. He says, come on, get on the horse. And even as Janaka raises his right foot, after placing his left foot on the stirrup, he has not even completed the exercise of sitting upon the horse. Janaka, in that half mounting, half boarding state, looks at Ashtavakra, a certain teaching enters him at that time, and he goes into samadhi. This is said in the background story of Ashtavakra. Janaka gets enlightened not even in as much time as is required to mount the horse. Less than that, halfway through, he realizes that who is the doubter? Who is the doubter? What is the doubt? This doubt, the doubter, somebody whom you ask the doubt, are all together in appearance. Brahma alone is. So it is said, Sakradeva, Ashesha Viparita Nirasta Sanskarena, Swapna Pradibodhivat Pratibodhavat, Yad Viditam Tadeva Matam Tatam Bhavati. Therefore, the first quarter of the mantra, Pratibodha Viditam Matam, means when rather than because of your self-imposed constraint, going step by step, rather than going step by step, well, who made you go step by step? Your belief. Your belief that this is the way it has to be. Drop that belief. Your conditioning. Everything has to be slow. So this is lack of intelligence. Therefore, in spirituality, more than scholarship in terms of quantity, it is important to live intelligently. Intelligent living is the soul of spirituality. Knowing mantra and tantra, knowing figures and numbers, knowing shlokas by heart and mantras by heart, etc. is all less important, if not unimportant. See some truth and get out the falsehood. Today I have to counsel a lady who has been working and working, but because of some sorrow in her heart, because of some negative emotions, last 10 or 12 years she has not worked properly at all in her private company, job in a private company. And they gave her a lot of chances. They even changed her department. Work here, work there, work in this. They gave some simple work to her. But she comes at 9 a.m., stays in the office up to 5 p.m., but some sorrow in her heart and some tamas, as we call it. He was not performing, underperforming tremendously. So last week they removed her from the job. And she was so shocked and aghast. He said, I have just 5 years left for my service. And could they not wait for 5 years? They have put up with me for 25 years or 30 years. 5 more years. Could they not put up with me? Whatever the reason, such a big organization, and so on. So I had to counsel her, and I saw clearly that even financially it is not much of a problem because she gets pension, she gets provident fund, she gets some gratuity, and she has her own house, and things are not so bad. And she can take a job if she has the competence, but she does not have a working mindset that had been destroyed long back. And her fear, I asked her, tell me one thing. Are you worried about the financial loss or are you worried about what the society says? She lost her job. Your relatives, friends at your own home, neighbors, they will all say sometimes behind her back, look, she lost her job. Poor thing, she lost her job. So imagining that you are so bad, or is it finance? She was so confused. Again, she says, both. Finance also. For 5 more years, I thought monthly income would be comforting. So she is caught in a psychological comfort. Let her leave alone. We don't want to get into anybody's case. We must examine ourselves. Are we caught in some kind of psychological comfort? And let me tell you, even spiritual practices put you in a zone of psychology. Nowadays, I do half an hour meditation every morning. I don't sit at all. It gives you a sense of psychological. I go every week to Ramakrishna Ashrama and put 100 rupees in the hundi. Oh. And when some Swamis come to our town, I don't buy everything. I do this, I do that, and so on. All that is good. But what has happened to your mind, which has got so mechanical, and just in doing some of these things, I meet people who not only do a number of things, they are also interested in adding one more thing, adding two more things. Upanishad says, we don't say that is bad, but actually there is a certain tamas in you. You are caught in a pattern. One more mantra, one more upasana, one more tantra, one more japa, one more book, one more guru maybe. So, great teachers on high plateau, they should feel through this. So I am also going to tell that lady in another session of counseling. We will look into all things later, but why do you depend on people's opinion? And are you sure you have financial power? Or is it a reaction? If you had resigned for some reason, you would have walked out smiling because the management asked you not to come from next month. It is an injury to your ego, isn't it? I don't know how much she can understand, but the problem is that she is hurt. If she had resigned, she was actually thinking of leaving sometime back. Then that mechanicalness made her, because she was so mechanical. Another month I will go to work. Another year I will go to work. Then I think I will resign. Sluggishness. Suddenly, unexpectedly, the management asked her not to come from next month. So that whether you left or they asked you to leave. made a big difference to her. If she had left and the management was saying, please stay on for another year, she would have felt like a winner. They want me, but I want them. But they asked her to leave, it becomes an affront. It becomes something amounting to insult. That is what we call mindset. It is your mind which binds you. And rise above that. Take the quantum leap. This is the meaning. Natam bhavati, viditam bhavati. If through some fresh thinking, if through some sitting quietly and re-examining all that you do, all that you feel, re-examine all that you think. Don't think more. Some thoughts are coming anyhow. Stand apart and look at those thoughts. You will see how mechanical you have become. This mechanicalness is the body. Very learned people, maybe Supreme Court judges, chairmen of multi-million dollar companies, are caught in a certain mechanicalness. They just go into the same groove and not step out of it. Then the significance of Sakrit can be appreciated. One moment you are free. And what is needed is not more thoughts or more books, but a observation, an unbiased observation. Intelligent, unbiased, fresh, open, and as teachers say, being ready for any exposure. Let me say one last thing before going ahead. If there is one person of whom we are most afraid in life, it is ourselves. We are afraid of ourselves. We don't want to watch our thoughts. We don't want to understand ourselves because if we understand who we are, it is likely to give a shock to us. We want to hurriedly say to ourselves, I'm a good man. I'm a good man. How many people I've helped, how much I did for this organization, this family, neighborhood. I am a good man. We want to be in the comfort of that good labels we put upon ourselves. And in honest self-awareness, who knows, certain understanding may dawn upon us how they have been selfish, they have been a cowardly person, and we shudder at that. I don't want to see that. It's like we have 10 photographs of our own, and one of them doesn't put us in good light. Don't we sometimes tear that off? I don't want to see this, nor do I want anybody else to see this photo. The other 9 I look fine. That I give for enlargement and extent. We don't want to see a bad picture of us. But in self-knowledge, in self-observation, in self-realization, we have to be open to see who we are as we are. We have to see ourselves without any bias. Then, viparita sanskaras, the opposite tendencies of thinking, opposite to the truth. The truth is you are neither bad nor good. The truth is your pure awareness where there is no room for either being good or being bad. But we are fighting. We want to be good and not bad. We want to run away from a bad image of ours. We want to go hug a good image of ours. And the Vedanta says you are not either of the images. You are that light which illumines both the images. In order that we may contemplate, rise from both these, you need to see both. See both of them. And then see all the 10 photographs and take all of them and put them into dustbin. I am not the photographs at all like that. Then nirasta samskara bhavati. This is one meaning. A waking up. Pratibodha is not in every thought, but it is in a certain waking up. I call it quantum leap. Then the last meaning and the last message for the class is how Adi Shankara says, second of the two additional meanings. That means in the whole set it is third. Pratibodha Viditam in every thought. Meaning one. Meaning two is in a certain awakening, like Bhashyakara himself says, like getting up from the dream. Swapna Pratibodhavat Viditam. Swapna Pratibodhavat, like waking up from the you are seeing yourself drowning in a river, and your wife also was drowning. And then when you wake up, if you are really woken up, and somebody asks, you are safe, right? I am safe, but my wife is still drowning. I am worried. You don't say. That whole scenario is undone, is erased, falsified. Therefore, waking up from dream in that sense, there is nothing more to be read into it. Just as waking implies the ending of the dream scenario, dream space, dream time, dream objects, dream persons, dream causation. Anything and everything related to dream comes to an end and you are away. Like that, Swapna Pratibodhavati Adinitam Tadeva Matam. And that gives you Amritam. That can happen from within. Amritatvam Vindate, Atmana Vindate. And Tad Vidyaya, from that understanding, Viryam Vindate, Balam Vindate, Tad Balam, Amritam Balam. Not something that is there for 2 days, then goes away. And the last meaning is Atava, Gurupadesha Pratibodha. Pratibodha can mean Gurupadesha because, again, Guru who bodhayati, Guru teaches you. And addressing you, Prati has the sense of addressing. Somebody asks you, where are you going? I'm going to a village. In Sanskrit, you may say, Yashtu Gramam Gachami, that's also fine. Gramam Prati Gachami, I'm going towards it. Gramam Prati. In that way, Shishyam Prati Acharya Bodhayati. A competent teacher helps the Shishya, the disciple, figure out how he is caught, where he is caught. And at the right moment, says, you are not the personality that is caught in all types of troubles. You are not the personality at all. You never lost, you never won, nothing ever happened. In this way, that is the meaning. Lastly, the mantra ends, Ubhayatra Pratibodha Shabda Prayoga Asti. Number one, Supta Pratibuddha, woken up from dream, from sleep. And second is Guruna Pratibodhita. So Pratibodha can imply Pratibodhita, instructed by a Guru. Therefore, the Upanishads themselves elsewhere say, Acharyavan Purusho Veda, from Chandogya Upanishad. Or in Mundaka, the much quoted line is, Tad Vijnanartham Sagurumeva Abhigacche, Protriyam Brahmanishtam Samitvanyi. And many other places, the role of a guru is mentioned. Therefore, both these meanings, in both of these alternate cases, the word Pratibodha is, however, the meaning originally given, beginning of its Bhashya, as in each thought, could be understood. Purvam tu yathartham. While giving these two meanings, Adi Shankaracharya gives a special compliment to the Purvam, the first meaning, in every thought, in every cognition. Don't think Brahma is far away. In your anger, there is Brahma. In your depression, there is Brahma. In your loneliness, there is Brahma. Brahma is in every low and every high of your existence. Because the low, the high are mere appearances. The big wave and the small wave are nothing but water. The ear ornament and the nose ornament and the anklet and bracelet and the bangle are all golden. Please, for heaven's sake, do not get carried away by external names and forms. In childhood, you are attached to toys, the color of the toys, the shape of the toys, the movement of the toys, the sound made by the toys made you get carried away. बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् गम्भीरः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तामग्नः परमे ब्रह्म So, Bhaja Govindam. Go to a handsome man or to a pretty woman, and to a good job or a better location, moving to another country, going to Hong Kong, and leaving India, I want to live rest of my life in Hong Kong. Somebody is excited, as though all his problems will be solved after landing in Hong Kong. Little realizing that many problems would arise there only. And then after 30 years, the man returns to India. I love my India. Comes back. What is all this? Because rather than seeing water, he, I, you, everybody sees the wave. Leaves this wave and then goes to that wave. Opt for this, reject something. Whereas in spiritual maturity, to an extent, there might be some changes taking place, but in heart of hearts, the spiritual seeker knows wherever I am, poor or rich, wherever I am, in Manhattan or in a village in Telangana, that externality is not the main issue. The main issue is, can I stand apart from thoughts? Can I rise above play of mind? If you know how to rise above the play of your mind, then in New York or in some small village, you are happy. But how many people see this truth? They take Vedanta for granted. Wherever I go, I can study Vedanta. Why not I study Vedanta in Manhattan? Or in some beautiful campus of some wonderful university? Is in a town which has pleasant weather. The only dream is to be campus of Stanford University. Somebody said, how foolish. Because importance is given to externalities. And Vedanta, no, after settling down in a nice quarters, staff quarters of Stanford University, I've decided I'll begin the day with Vedanta study. But first I want to settle. See, this is called putting the cart before the horse. The sequence is wrong. Do whatever is required on a daily basis. You are uncomfortable somewhere, okay, check go do. But don't have these psychological fancies. Nobody is saying if mosquitoes are biting, you should not drive them away. You should not get into a mosquito net or you should not turn on a mosquito repellent. Because rather you should first think about who am I? Am I Brahma? Nobody is saying such impractical advice. Do something so that mosquitoes don't trouble you. But that is physical, that is very much of common sense. But to have fanciful desires and drown in them, go round and round in chasing one desire after another, that is called worldliness. The world is not a problem. Worldliness is a problem. Therefore, what we saw today in this short portion is Shankara gives a second and third meaning, but interestingly at the end he says, the first one we give, Bodham Bodham Prat. See Brahma in every thought is Yathartham. Yathartham means closest to what actually it is. Yathartham means as it is. To see something as it is. He gives a special compliment to the very first meaning. Then why did he give second and third meaning? He gave those meanings because they are also accepted. And many a seeker is much benefited when one sees other meanings. If not anything else, certain inspiration one gets. Purvam tu yathartham. The first meaning is the best, is closest in his opinion. Other meanings are not dismissed. They also can be given a place in these things. Om Namah Paramarashibho Namah Paramarashibhaha.